Hello, and this week we're looking at the flower beds in the front borders. We're going to be taking out some old plants and putting in some new ones and replacing them with these Aquilegias. We're also going to be giving it a general tidy up, and we'll have a look around at what we've got and what you need to do with it over autumn. So I'll see you up in the front border. So we're going to be looking at taking out the lupins, which have really died back a lot now. I want to get rid of them, and I'm going to replace them with the Aquilegias. And this time of year is the ideal time to be planting Aquilegias, and they'll flower next summer. So if you've got established Aquilegias, then you can cut them back at this time of year, back down to ground level. So that's going to be the first job we're going to do. The second job, we're going to be planting this Primroses, which flowered earlier on in the summer, and it's dying back now. But I've got a gap next to the Primroses that's in the bed, so we're going to place it into there next to that, and it'll give us a bigger spread of that plant for next year. So I'll start getting on with that, as well as a general tidy up. So the likes of the Primroses, which have started to got lots of holes from being eaten by the slugs and snails, they're starting to get some new growth on, so we're going to give them a general tidy up as well. Okay, so as you can see, the border's now been really tidied up. We've taken out a lot of the dead plants, replaced with some of the others. I'm just going to talk you through what we need to do with some of the ones that's left in. So we'll start with the roses. So roses tend to put the growth on new growth for this year. So tend to prune it back in January to March time, and you can prune them back quite hard. The harder you prune them back, the more growth you'll get, the more flowers you'll get. So that's a job that we'll do later on in spring. Looking down at the hostas will die back to about ground level, and then you can just take any remaining dead leaves off, and then they'll grow out from the soil next year. So we've got the primroses. We've got winter and summer primroses in here. So the winter ones, this one's just starting to put some growth on. We've taken off all of the dead leaves, and that's putting on some nice growth now. And there's one under the rose bush that's doing really well at the moment. So we've got the Primroses. So this is the first year that we've had this. It's just starting to die back a little bit, and that should die back into the ground and then grow again from next year. We've got some more roses and hostas. That's just the same as we've discussed already. And then we've got the Aquilegia. So these have just gone in, and these have replaced the lupins that were in here previously. So these will stay green over winter, stay as they are, and then we should get some flowers next year. This variety is lime sorbet, so it's a white flower with a tint of green around it as well. So they should just stay that and give you a bit of greenery over the winter. We've got the Dahlias, which will die back as the frosts come. So when they die back, normally with Dahlias you would take the combs up, because they don't like living in the frost. But this year I'm going to try leaving a couple of them in the ground and see if they do grow back next year. And then over here we've got phlox. So first year that this has been in the garden, this will die back as the foliage dies back. We'll just cut that off at ground level, and then that will grow back up out from the soil next year. And they need dividing every 3 to 4 years, so we just take them up and divide them out. And one of the last ones we've got is this little rose bush here, which is really old rose bush, but it's really not doing well where it is in the position it's in. It's got a lot of black spot on it, as you can see there. So we'll try and treat that. The position that we've put it in, it's overshadowed by the neighbour's rose bush a little bit. It's not grown particularly well since it's been here, so we are going to move that, and that'll be done probably in a week or so's time, when we'll move that into a new pot in the back garden. And we've just got some more dahlias. So that's it. So it's all looking very neat and tidy. This is an ideal time to get your borders tidied up, weeded, remove the plants that you don't want anymore, and put in any new plants that are suitable to go in the ground at this time of year. So a top tip for your flower borders is to take lots of pictures and lots of videos during each season. That way you'll remember where everything is when you come to plant out new things like bulbs and shrubs. Because what you don't want is to plant a shrub over some daffodil bulbs that's going to then start competing for that ground and nutrients at the same time. Well, that's all we've got time for today. There's some links at the end of the video to the previous episodes, and we'll see you back in the garden next Wednesday.